Hi, my name is Cherie Lindberg, and I've been asked by several of my clients if I'd be willing to videotape this story for them because they felt it was very meaningful in their healing journey, and I thought I might videotape it because if they found it helpful, there might be others out there that find it helpful. So I'm a therapist and I work in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm a brain spotting trainer and consultant. And this was about, I want to say 5 years prior to my brain spotting journey, working to become a trainer and a consultant. And I was on a healing table getting some cranial sacral work done when I went into this deep state of relaxation and went really deep into my body, and then I started to have these images that came into my head. And this will happen a lot when you're doing brain spotting as well. And so I call this the cave story. And this is something that I'm hoping at some point I'm going to put in my own book. But for right now, I hope with the holiday season coming and so forth, for some of you, it's an exciting and joyful time, and for others, it can be a very painful time. And so I thought this might be a good time to put this video out there. So again, I was laying on this table, and I started to have these images, and it was really, really dark, and so it was taking me some time to really figure out what was going on. And then I saw myself hanging on this rope. And right above me, right above my head, was this circle, and there was light in this circle. I could see the sky, and I could see a little bit of like green that looked like grass, but there wasn't, it was pretty far up, so I couldn't really see everything that was up there. But inside myself, I felt this compulsion to go up the rope. And so I started to move up the rope. I got really curious and I started to move up the rope. And then I started to hear, please, please don't leave me. You can't leave us down here. Don't do this to us. And I looked around and I was able to see, and they were not at arm's length. They were further away from me than that. But around me, like an inner circle around me where, again, I couldn't touch them, was my husband and my 2 sons. And then outside of them was my parents, my sister, and my brother. And then beyond that circle was all of my ancestors. And I found myself getting really angry and saying, I can't go up into the light because you think I need to help you. And there had been this internal conflict inside of me about continuing to grow because I wanted my family of origin to come with me. I wanted my husband and my children to come with me. I didn't want to do it alone, and I wanted everyone to experience the healing that I was experiencing. And often, you'll see this with new brain spotters, that after we have this miraculous healing of letting go of something we've carried for a very long time, we want our loved ones and others to experience this. However, we also have to be patient and kind and caring and very compassionate, not only to ourselves, but to our loved ones, because they're in a different place, just like our clients are in a different place. They can't be where we want them to be. We have to allow them to be where they're at and love them where they're at. And that is very, very hard. I know I'm making it much more simple than it is. But I was really angry. I'm like, I can't heal all of you. I can't be responsible to heal all of you. I love all of you. Please come with me. Please. Like I did this begging, like, please come with me. And nobody would come. And it felt like this tug of war. Like if I don't go up into the light, my soul will die. But if I stay here, everybody else will die. It was like really dramatic. And this was all happening inside myself while I was getting cranial sacral therapy done. So, and at the time I didn't know it, but I probably was on a brain spot because I was staring at the same spot while I was getting all of this work done. It was a spot on the wall. So very, very interesting. Anyway, make a long story short, going up the rope, and they kept, getting more and more, don't leave us, you can't leave us. And I started to cry on the table because I'm like, what am I going to do here? This is like a no-win situation. Like I'm feeling compelled to go up into this light. It feels like my soul will grow and I will I just remember the sense of freedom, of like going home, all those kinds of sense. And then yet I had all this down here in this cave of darkness, right? Our subcortical brain will give us lots of metaphors to help us heal. So what ended up happening, and this is what's amazing about our brains, halfway up on this rope, my brain morphs this huge pad of paper in a pen, and I start writing vigorously the directions on how to get up into the light. And I paper airplane it to everybody, and of course everybody caught the paper airplane. And I said to all of my family, my husband, my sons, my family of origin, my ancestors, now you too have the directions on how to get up into the light, but you have to choose. I hope you choose to come with me, but somebody's got to go, because then the rest of us will all die together, because none of us know how to get up there. And so I inched my way up. They kept saying, oh my God, don't leave me, crying. There was lots of internal conflict. And then I got up through the hole, up into this light, and it was a beautiful field of flowers and butterflies flying around. I know, pretty, it could be, some people could consider that woo-woo, but all I can tell you is that my body felt so free and so wonderful, because I chose myself. I still loved my family. I loved everybody down there, but I chose to love me. And I think we get scared about choosing ourselves because we're afraid then we will lose. But what ended up happening is I came home and I shared my story with my husband. I shared my story with my boys. And slowly but surely, they started to do their own personal work, because I felt more freedom. And because I felt more freedom, I showed up more compassionately for them when they were suffering and struggling with things. And so I just want you to know that in my lifetime, there has been many more caves that I've had to go through. And it's an illusion that we go through it alone. There are other travelers just like us. And if this is speaking to you, it's speaking to you for a reason. And I don't know what else to say about that, but I hope that this story is helpful to you. I often will put myself on a brain spot, and if you don't know what that is, you can look up getconnected.works, and there is a brain spotting video on my website so that you can understand what that is. But what I would say is brain spotting has helped me build the internal circuitry that was needed, that I never learned growing up, inside of myself to find myself again. There's many other ways I could explain it, but that's trying to simplify it. But it's something that we are all naturally drawn to do, is to continue to move towards growth and healing. And sometimes our fears block us because we're afraid of doing it alone. But what you will find is there's many of us that are afraid of that and do it anyway. And you're not alone, because there's a lot of people traveling this path. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and I hope that you find this story helpful to you and inspiring. Take care.